Cool. So I'm going to use the next 15 to 20 minutes to actually speak a little bit more about Grafana as a visualization layer, but also as an alerting system, and also sharing with you like some of the key concepts and illustrating some of the key concepts, that we discussed with Devin. With all the toolkit, all the connectivity, all the visualization capabilities that you need to build your own observability story and your own observability world. So as opposed to, like a lot of solution in the market, like APM solution, where everything is quite rigid and very strict in the way that you navigate through the product, here it's really open. And the way that I want to illustrate this is by showing you like an example of few dashboards that we put together for today, and that you will most likely see also in the next coming session. So usually it starts with something very high level. So the dashboard that you are looking at right now is pretty much what we call a 10,000. So here you have like a high level overview of your platform, your different projects. And something that usually exec people or C-level people likes in this kind of dashboard, this is like this traffic light visualization, where they can see which component is actually failing. Some of the challenge that we have when we build these dashboards in a traditional solution is usually in order to display it. So most of the time it's quite complicated because you need to put together some data pipeline, probably get everything into one single data source, and then you can query it from your usual tools. With Grafana, we actually consume the data where it sits. So that's what we call the big tent philosophy, or liberate your data. Here, every single stats or panel that you visualize is actually coming directly from an external data source. Grafana doesn't store anything out of the box. So here, for example, I can visualize the number of incidents. If I edit and want to see a little bit more these statistics, I can see that the data source is actually ServiceNow, which is a well-known ITSM solution. And this is the query itself. So usually we provide native capabilities to interact with external systems. So we use, for example, the API. If a query language is exposed, you can also like type the native query. So you have like multiple ways to query your data. Again, from here, we don't pull and store any information. We just access directly the information and we display it. The next step when you have your query built is actually to just pick one of the visualization that you want. So in that case, this is a stat, and that's pretty much it. I can display the number of incidents into my dashboard. As you could see, I have like multiple indicators, multiple metrics here. Same for example, the number of PRs open, pull requests open at the moment on my platform. If I open and edit this statistic, we can see that in this case, it's coming from GitHub. So the configuration is also extremely straightforward. It's not like rocket science. The only thing that you have to do is actually pick a data source. And the way that you build actually a data source is by just using one of the connectors that we provide. So for the people who are very familiar with Grafana, this is something that they already know. For those of you who have never seen Grafana, this is basically the entry gate to access your data. So you have a lot of connectors that are provided out of the box as part of the open source edition. So this is what we call the core plugin. And then as part of the commercial offering, we do provide enterprise plugin as well. So for more like enterprise grade type of products or solution, for example, if you need to access your logs from Splunk, fair enough, you can just use like the Splunk connector. Provide some of the credential and information that you need, and that's pretty much it. So let's see. Yeah. So that's for the quick tour of the connectivity. I will go back to the first dashboard. And then we have actually the ability to just drill down into more specific dashboards and having like more granular view of what's happening. So here, for example, I want to drill down into the specific component of my platform. So what I'm seeing next is something that is very common in the observability world, is what we call like a SLO/SLI type of dashboard. So here, what I see is the service level objectives and the service level indicators associated to each component of my e-commerce backend. So for example, my web portal, my service layer, message broker, and database. For each of the SLO, as I said, we have like a view of the indicator and historical SLO as well, and the error budget left. So here we actually also provide, as I said, again, this is the concept of the Lego box. We also provide libraries and tools that will help you to build this kind of dashboard. So for example, here we have a library where you will just provide with a simple query. With a simple query that is actually what your SLI is, and automatically the dashboard will be generated for you. So it's extremely simple to use this template to again build your own dashboard. From here, you can again navigate to more granular views. So the next level, for example, is to have, let's say, a dashboard that will give and monitor my web server. So if I open this one, for instance, here you can see this beautiful dashboard that we build on top of Nginx web server that give you like very accurate and specific metrics about the health of your server. Here, I'm more interested into the service layer because this is where we see something is actually failing. So if I open this particular dashboard, the next one, we will have something that is actually built to monitor and observe specific signal of a microservice or an API. So this is what we call the 4 golden signals. So if you take like observability best practices, this is usually the 4 things that you need to observe in the first place when you're monitoring an API. So the 4 signals are the latency, the error rate, the traffic, which is basically the rate of request, and the saturation. And everything is displayed into this dashboard. And this is usually also like a good starting point when you start investigating an issue with a specific service. Another thing that you can do from here is actually creating alerts. So alert is also like a big capability and critical functionality of Grafana. So let's say that I want to be notified when the error rate is actually over like a specific threshold. So directly from this panel, I click on the alert tab and create this alert here. And as you could see, creating an alert is actually nothing more than providing a query. So I can use like the similar query that I had. And here just actually providing again the threshold. So if I run the query, here I will just change the threshold to 1.5, and you can see that now it's displayed directly on this panel. So once the alert is created, we can save and exit. You can see that now it's actually tied to this panel. And if I get back to it, we can actually see that there is like this small indicator that tell me like the status of the alert. If the alert is triggered, we will see like a broken heart that will actually tell me that it's being fired. Another thing that I want to show you about alerting, and let's open it here and search for my previous alert. Let's be here. Here it is, and I will edit it. Is the fact that you can actually alert on any data source that we support. And this is a huge thing when you think about it, because first, most of the time what we see is there is like a duplication of alerts across multiple systems. So if you are using like multiple tools to observe the same thing, what usually people tend to do is they create like alert in every systems, and it ends up like to alert fatigue and to this thing that Devin described earlier. Here you can actually centralize your alerting capabilities into one single tool and monitor this alert from one single view. So if tomorrow I want to create again like an alert on, let's say, GitHub, because I want to be notified where there is like a peak of issues, that's very simple. And the second use case is actually extending the capabilities of some of the systems that you are usually using on a regular basis with additional function like alerting. So for example, there is no alerting capabilities in GitHub. Here you can provide that with through Grafana. The second thing that is actually also extremely important is what we call contact points. And contact points are actually the notification channel, how you want to be notified when an incident is happening. And we have like a broad list of notification channel that we support, including actually the tools that you use every day. And most of the time, if you are like us, you probably spend a lot of time on Slack, for example, and having like tight integration with this tool when an incident arises is actually extremely beneficial if you want to reduce your mean time to resolution or your mean time to investigation. Also, lately, we have released a new tool for incident response and incident management. That's something that we can share again after this webinar if you need to know more about it, where basically you can manage directly and respond directly to an incident from Grafana. So it's part of the cloud offering, but this is something that is already available.